Hello, welcome to Talking Shit. I'm on location in Riverside, California, visiting a friend from last night and this morning, and now I'm broadcasting a little late, but it's good to be here. Andre. Today I want to talk a little bit about the John Edwards situation. I'm on my mobile phone. I'm not at my desktop in my bedroom, so it's a little shaky. I'm going to put it down so that way I'm not shaking. There you go. I wanted to talk about a little bit about the John Edwards situation. I feel as though that the jury is deliberating. I don't want to be too premature. They've called in some evidence, so the judge just sent in all the evidence, 300 pieces of exhibits or what have you. And I just feel personally that until there is a legitimate sort of reform on how politicians are dealt with when they become interested in political life and whatnot, the financing and the money sort of three-card Molly way of handling the money needs to be really examined. Now, I don't approve of Senator Edwards' abuse to women. I'm very protective of women. I grew up with 4 sisters and 1 mother. And I know that women are often abused and taken advantage of regularly. There used to be a law in the books in the colonial period where you could beat your wife except for on Sundays because you wanted to be a good Christian to support the wonderful institution of marriage that has been so exhibited so greatly by these straight people. But, 70% of all marriages end in divorce from what I've heard. I don't know that to be true. I've just heard that. I don't understand sometimes why people want to fight for the right of being a part of an institution that fails at 70% a year. Like a famous artist once said, now gay people can even look forward to being miserable like everybody else. No, I don't hate marriage. I'm not laughing at it in the sense that it can't work, but Clinton cheated on his wife. Al Gore cheated on his wife. Newt Gingrich cheated on his wife. John Edwards cheated on his wife. But, to say that somehow John Edwards knew about every dime that was trying to hush this, look, a lot of these people do it, and some people get caught and some people don't. I don't like the way they treated Martha Stewart when she was caught up in her money, for 60 grand, and then a couple of years later, you look at everybody, including, Chase Manhattan right now, still playing the game. And one of the reasons why I like Barack Obama, you knew I was going to tie Barack into this, didn't you? One reason why I like Barack Obama is part of his little, on the stump, he says, everybody deserves a fair shake and a fair hand and playing by the same rules. And I just feel that if the right person, for example, I guess there's a Republican person, I don't know if it's a district attorney or a former district attorney, but he's the one that sort of got the John Edwards train going, because he probably just can't stand that bleeding heart liberal. And it really doesn't have a lot to do with John Edwards' personal life. And he has to deal with his own demons and his ex-wife. I heard she was one of the kindest people that ever walked the face of the earth. He's got to deal with that. I have my dark shit. I got to deal with that. But don't charge me up on something when you're really mad at me because you won't do nothing about the things you need to go inside of yourself with and help and do your forgiveness with or whatever, And I see a lot of that. It's a kind of bullying, that goes on. So anyway, I don't think John Edwards should be found guilty unless the legislator changed the law on some of these ways that finances are handled when it comes to political stuff. And the law is very clear, but the behavior around the law is murky. And you see that a lot. And now he's looking like a roasted turkey, And if you can find the chink in the wall of anybody's fucking armor. There's anybody, if you look hard enough, you'll find something to really prove that somebody's not perfect. but I don't think he should be locked up for the rest of his life because somebody took a shitty incident with his wife and decided to cut away at his political career with a sociological knife, you know. These wedge issues are things that I'm going to constantly talk about, so I'm going to constantly need your comment and constantly need your help because I don't know everything. You know, those jurors that are right now deliberating, they don't know everything. They only go by what people say. You know, so in a courtroom, it's like, you know, some of these people that have been locked away for years because they just didn't have the right representation or they just didn't have the right information, the jurors or the judge in the situation. And I think we need to be slow to judgment and quick to truth and quick to, you know, help people. And, you know, in spite of John Edwards' demons and in spite of how abused women are in our society, let's separate the ice cream from the bullshit. And let's get down to the causes and the conditions and the motives behind which people pursue others and why people bully and try to pick fights with people instead of just accept shit that they can't fucking control, you know. I've done that, and I want to learn how to not do that. You know, if you don't like something, it doesn't mean you destroy it. It means you practice a little bit of tolerance, try to understand it, and just let it go if it's not, you know, something that's illegal.